Alright guys, my name is Shervin. Welcome back to my channel. The MBNA Rewards World Elite Mastercard is probably the best cashback credit card in Canada. Now recently, just a couple months ago, I made a 4-hour video where I went over every single credit card in Canada, and I got a ton of comments on that video saying, why did you rank the MBNA Rewards card so low? It's so good, it should be an A, it should be an S. And I went back and looked more deeply into it. I read some of the opinions that other people had on the card, and I can kind of see it. I see why they valued so much more than I initially did. There were a couple features where I didn't know if they were as useful, and I was comparing it to some other cards, but of course since then we've had a lot of those other cards change and get nerfed or have their fee increased. We just talked about how the Cobalt card increased its annual fee basically from $150 to about $190 a year. So I think it's only fair that we take another look at this card, and I know I'm saying it's the best cashback card. Technically this is a points credit card. You get points per dollar spent for your everyday purchases. However, if you use those points to redeem towards just a sort of a cashback on your statement or even gift cards, you actually end up getting very good return rates, to the point where this could, in a sense, be the best cashback credit card in Canada, even though it's not even a cashback card. So follow me for a second and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed the video and get value from it, make sure to smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you see them right as they come out. But let's take a look at this card. So the card costs $120 a year to own. And again, given all the recent fee changes to all those cards, like the wealth symbol card went from $120 to $240 a year. Cobalt went from about $150 to about $190 a year. Compared to those, this seems like a much more affordable option. So if it can offer anywhere near competitive rates to those cards, then obviously that's amazing, right? But let's take a closer look at this. There is an eligibility requirement, so not anyone can get this card, but if you have a personal income that is $80,000 a year or more, or a household income that is $150,000 a year or more, then you are eligible for the card. Otherwise, you can't get the card. You probably have to go for either a Cobalt card or some other option like that. But what kind of points do you get with this card? Now let's put aside the sign-up bonus for a second. Let's take a look at how many points you get per dollar spent. You get 5 points for every dollar spent at restaurants, grocery, digital media, so that's streaming services basically, memberships, and household utility purchases until $50,000 spent per year in this category. So up to $50,000 spent a year among those categories, you get 5 points per dollar spent. After that, you get 1 point per dollar spent. And basically, you get 1 point per dollar spent on every other category as well. Now, you're probably wondering, how much are these points actually worth? So if you go on my website, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, shervinhouse.com, and you have this tool right here that tells you exactly what each of the points are worth, the credit card points value calculator. So we go over here, we select MBNA Rewards, and as you can see, you get about 1 cent per point on travel, about 1 cent per point on gift cards. And in fact, the exact value is over here. You get about 98/100th of a cent. So basically 1 cent per point. And if you use it directly towards your statement credit, you get about 0.82 cents per point. So if you can redeem it towards gift cards to use it that way, you obviously get a little bit more. So you would want to do it that way. But even if you just do it directly to your statement credit, like a straight cashback, it's still pretty close. It's still pretty good. So again, let's take another look at those rates. 5 points per dollar spent at restaurants. So that's basically 5% value back, which is good. It's not quite the Cobalt level if you can redeem those points for a much higher return rate. But you know, compared to a lot of other cards, it's very competitive. Groceries, again, not quite Cobalt level, but again, remember, this is a much more affordable card than the Cobalt card now. It's basically almost half the price. For streaming services, you actually end up getting around the same as the Cobalt card, because with the Cobalt, you get 3 points per dollar spent. So even if you redeem those at, let's say, 2 cents per point, it ends up being around the same. And household utilities, I mean, this is just better than the other ones, right? Now, 1 point per every dollar spent, that's basically 1% value back. So that's not the highest, the craziest amount, but it's still okay. But here's where this card becomes amazing, right? Here's where it goes from just good, looks all right, to absolutely amazing. Each year, you will receive a birthday bonus equal to 10% of the total number of points on the account earned in the 12 months before. And that's up to 15,000 points per year. Now, again, as we mentioned, 15,000 points, that's about $150 in value, particularly if you redeem it towards either travel or gift cards, and also very close to $150 if you do it straight to the statement credit. You get that every year as a birthday bonus, right? So you get 10% up to this amount, but if you are putting a lot of purchases regularly on your card, you should be able to get there, no problem, right? Because basically, if you have 150,000 points earned in 1 year, that's already 15,000 points. 10% of that would be 15,000 points. And in order to get to that, you would have to be spending somewhere around like either 30,000 on all of these categories, or maybe a little bit more on some other categories as well. So what are we looking at here? Basically, you're paying $120 a year to get $150 back on your birthday. So that right there, that alone, if you are spending enough on the card will pay for itself. And this is why the card is so amazing. So basically, given the birthday bonus, and assuming you are spending enough for that 10% to be a substantial amount, even if it's not exactly 15,000 points, even if it's close to like 10, 12,000 points that you get for the birthday bonus, you're basically paying off the annual fee. So it's almost as if you have a free-to-own card that is getting you 5% value back on restaurants, groceries, digital media, membership, and household utilities, and also 1% on everything else. That's amazing. And on top of that, of course, you have the sign-up bonus. So you get 20,000 points after you make $2,000 in purchases in the first 90 days. Very easy to get that done. That's not that crazy. If you just put your regular expenses on the card, you should be able to get there. And 10,000 bonus points if you enroll for the paperless e-statements in the first 90 days of opening the account. Again, very easy to do that. So that you should be bagging 30,000 points right there as well. And again, given that you redeem it at about 1 cent per point, that's about $300 in value just in the sign-up bonus. So the first year, yes, you pay $120, but you get basically $300 in the sign-up bonus alone. And then after that, as long as you're spending enough, with the birthday bonus, you're basically getting that $120 back just right there. So realistically, if you are the type of person that spends at least a certain amount on restaurants, grocery, digital media, and you're not looking to get the Cobalt card because, I don't know, the fee is maybe a little too high and stuff like that, this card is an amazing alternative because you can basically think of it as a free-to-own card because of that sign-up bonus, or because of the birthday bonus, I should say. So that's the best thing about this card. Of course, the card has some other features. Again, let's go back on my website. By the way, if you haven't checked out my website, you absolutely should. It's amazing. It's powered by Finley Wealth, so it has all of their algorithms and all of their data, and you can use the different tools, the credit card quiz, the calculator, and all of that stuff. And you can even do side-by-side comparisons with different cards. You can pick whatever card you want and see how they compare against each other. I highly recommend using it. I think you guys are going to love that. But shameless plug aside, let's take a look at the MBNA Rewards World Elite Mastercard over here. And I want to show you all the benefits it has when it comes to the insurances and coverages and all of that. You have the mobile device insurance up to $1,000. So again, same as Cobalt, but you don't have to spend $190 a year to have it. You're basically spending $120, which in a way is being refunded to you with the birthday bonus. You have the purchase protection, extended warranty. These are very standard. Car rental damage and theft. We have up to 31 days. Flight delay up to $500. We have travel accident up to $1 million, which is great. We have emergency medical insurance out of province up to $2 million for 21 days. That's very good as well. A lot of cards in this range offer maybe 15 days. So 21 is even longer. That's basically 3 weeks. Lost or stolen baggage up to $1,000 per person. Baggage delay up to $1,000 per person. And in fact, let's use the comparison tool and do a side-by-side with this card and the Cobalt. So here we have the AMEX Cobalt Card and the MBNA Rewards World Elite Card. And look at this. Look at the coverages. Lost or stolen baggage, double the coverage. Baggage delay, double the coverage. Travel accident, 4 times the coverage. Mobile device is the same. Emergency medical insurance. Remember I talked about how a lot of cards in this range give you 15 days, 21 days. And flight delay, it's the same basically. But when you look at all of these coverages, the only one that the Cobalt card has that we really don't see it over here with the MBNA card is the hotel burglary insurance for $500. But everything else, you have the same or double basically with the MBNA card at a much lower fee. So when you look at it overall, there's a lot to love here. There's a lot to like, and of course there's car rental discount and stuff like that come with the card as well. There's price protection. This is a very important benefit that can be very useful. Basically, what this price protection gets you is that up to a certain amount after buying a specific item, if you see it somewhere else for cheaper, you can get a refund from the credit card company for the difference. Now, of course, you do have to keep your receipts and you got to show this new place that is selling it for cheaper now. And if you just show those two things, you can get a refund. This can be very helpful around, let's say, a Black Friday or something like that. If you buy something and then you later on see, oh, it's cheaper now, then, you know, you can take advantage of that. So there's a lot to love about this card. Overall, I think it's a very good alternative to the Cobalt card. The only downsides I really see is that, one, not everyone can get this card because it does have a very high income requirement. This is well above the average income in Canada. I believe the average income is like $60-something thousand. So you do have to be above average. And yeah, I would have loved to see the points be a little bit higher. I'll say that, given that you can't really redeem the points at a higher rate than 1 cent per point. And again, don't get me wrong, it's still amazing. It's still much better than most cashback cards. And if you were using your AMEX Cobalt card like a cashback card to redeem towards your saving credit, then obviously you're going to get just as good, if not better, here with the MBNA card. But it's just that, you know, with the Cobalt card, if you're spending those points correctly towards getting flights, then you potentially could get quite a bit more from those points. And you don't really have that ability here with the MBNA card. So I will say this: if you're the type of person who wants to get the absolute maximum from every single point, get the absolute maximum amount of value back, and you're okay with chasing down points, making sure you're always checking different travel rates and all of that, every day being on the travel website, seeing if there's a good flight offer and stuff like that. If you're that type of person, then I still think there's a little bit more with the Cobalt card with those points, even though you're spending more per year, that it would justify the Cobalt card. But I think for most people, what they really want is a card that's solid, and they don't want the hassle of having to chase down, see if they can find that perfect flight that fits right into their schedule and is also discounted for very little points and all of that stuff. It is a lot of hassle to like constantly look, see if you can find a good deal, see if the flight rates aren't changing day to day. And most people don't want to subjugate themselves to that. And if that's you, and if you just prefer to redeem your points for statement credits or straight cashback, then I think the MBNA card might actually be a lot better option, especially now that it is so much cheaper than the Cobalt card. Because you basically get very similar rates on all these categories. You get better insurance coverages in most of these categories. Yeah, there's like one small thing that's missing over here, but then to make up for that, you have the price protection, you have the car rental discount. So overall, I like the MBNA card a lot. I do like it a lot. Now, of course, if you want to check out the card, I will leave the link to my website down in the description below, where it will take you right to this page over here. You can see all the information. If you want to apply for the card, if you apply through the link on my website, you'd also be supporting the channel in the meantime, which I always appreciate. And of course, you can also use the other tools, and you can check out and see if this card or some other card is the best option for you. I highly recommend checking out the credit card quiz if you haven't already. It's amazing. The algorithm is so good. You can tell the algorithm exactly what you use your card for, what you like to use your card for, what kind of rewards you would like to get, how would you like to spend those rewards, and it'll find the perfect option for you. So again, if you haven't checked out my website yet, I highly recommend you do that. But now with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the MBNA rewards card. Do you think it's a better option than the Cobalt card? Do you have either of them? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.